When they meet each other on the court, magic happens. Of course, Gabi. Do we need to talk about Gabi? She's able to beat the Brazilian blockers. There's hope for all of us shorter players. Hi everybody, welcome to another video. I'm really excited to talk about today's topic, which is the matchup between Brazil and Japan at the Olympics in Paris 2024. These two teams, when they meet each other on the court, magic happens. Rallies extend beyond what's reasonable. Everybody brings out the best in each other. It's really fun. And we're gonna have this matchup immediately on 1st of August because these two teams find themselves in the same pool. In the last 4 times these teams have met, they have stretched the match to the 5th setter. 3 out of 4 times Brazil came out victorious. Brazil has historically won most of the matchups against Japan, but it seems like this Japanese team is bothering Brazil more and more in recent years. Now we have the pleasure to have seen these teams match up twice this year, in the second week of the VNL and in the semi-finals of the VNL. The question is, what can we expect from this matchup at the Olympics? One thing we can expect for sure is to have the X factors of both teams on the court. And I have one name in mind that if there was a side where I can bet for this, I would. Thaisa will be on that court. And the reason why I'm so sure, she was the most effective player in both spiking and blocking in both matches. It's incredible. And I guess the reason why she's so effective is that she's just a little better at running left and right to close that block. Now the problem with Japanese, they're relentless at finding the seam between the two blockers and just spiking through, and they spike so hard that they get a kill. Now Thaisa says she was also struggling, but she was better than the rest. And also her spiking, they had a really hard time blocking her. They had a really hard time containing her attacks. The question for the outside hitters is, of course, Gabi. Do we need to talk about Gabi? Do we need a slideshow of Gabi's spikes to remind ourselves how good she is? No, we don't need it, but here it is. So Gabi will be on the court, no doubt. For the other outside hitter, though, I wonder if Zé Roberto will go to Julia Bergmann, because Julia Bergmann was the other X factor, especially in week 2. She was actually scoring, and a lot of the times where Gabi wasn't effective, Julia Bergmann was. She was fine in the middle of the court, she was hitting hands, very effective. When it comes to the X factors of Japan, 2 come to mind, Sarina Koga and Mayu Ishikawa. It's an outside hitter party on the Japanese side. These 2 players, they're able with their fast approach from the pipe and from the front to often trick the Brazilian block. Of course, it's a group effort. It all starts with a good pass and a very fast set from their setter Iwasaki. And these 2 players just finish the job. They often are there high up in the air before the Brazilian block is even formed. And from the back line, I've never seen such a fast approach like Sarina Koga's. Also quite impressive when she manages to beat the Brazilian libero on the cross court. And the same can be said for Mayu Ishikawa, just maybe a little bit more impressive because Mayu Ishikawa stands at only 174 centimeters. If she's able to beat the Brazilian blockers, there's hope for all of us shorter players. But I wouldn't do them justice if I didn't also mention their defensive abilities. I just want to mention the overall strategy that the Japanese team seems to have. I often see that they push block cover to an extreme where they have 5 players in front of the 3-meter line and the 6 on the 3-meter line or just behind. There's 6 options for picking up that ball, and they're very mobile. Like I have this example in mind of Ishikawa coming from position 6 and going all the way to position 4 right under the net to pick up a ball that had bounced off the block. Like this is the extent of their commitment, and they're often able to pick it up in such a way that's settable, so that can be set. And time and again, they maybe don't get the kill the first time, but maybe the second or the third they do. And they got a lot of points this way with this patience and with this stamina that they have. This also gives a chance for Brazil to exploit the back of that court. They scored a couple points like that, and something that Japan can do is just literally keep going with this strategy. Get the Brazilians tired and nervous, because it's nerve-wracking when the ball never touches the floor. It's nerve-wracking how long these rallies go on for. Well, Brazil usually manages to keep their patience, but it's tiring. It gets to them. Really excited for this matchup and for the Olympics in general. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.